Wow, that was wimpy. There we go. That was a little better. All right, good morning, friends. Good morning. Wow, it's so good to see all of you guys. I guess you guys are out of town every other week. No, wait, that's us. Okay, because I only see y'all every other weekend, so I figured maybe y'all weren't showing up. So good morning and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Columbia. My name is Ivy Coleman. Our minister is the Reverend Stephen Robinson, and I'm going to be your service leader for today. To those of you who are with us in the sanctuary, please be aware that this service is being streamed on YouTube, so you got to act right. And if you're in hiding, this is your time to step away from the camera. And on the website, there's a link to a Zoom event. We would, of course, rather have everyone in person, but we realize that some folks can't do that. Please make sure that you read the announcements printed in your order of service. We're trying to cut down on the number of announcements from the pulpit so that you can enjoy your service fully. Of course, I have a few today that didn't quite make it to the order of service. Also be aware that weekly events are emailed to you each Thursday, and the Unigram also comes out, and you can also reach all of that on the website. I urge you to keep the website open as a tab on your internet browser so you can keep up with what's happening with us. You never know what we're going to be up to. The first additional announcement I have is kind of a bittersweet. Everybody likes a party. That's the good part of it. But the sad part is that Andrea is leaving her position as our, I guess her title is administrator. So next week after church, there's going to be a farewell party for her. So please, if you are interested in joining that after the service, we want to celebrate Andrea and all that she's given to our community and how much we appreciate her. We want her to know that. Visitors and folks who may have questions about Unitarian Universalism are welcome to attend the visitor orientation today, shortly after the service ends. And you could help yourself to some coffee and snacks. And then when the bell rings, feel free to bring your drink and food along with you as you head back to room number 8 in the back. So if you are a visitor, or if you are sitting in this congregation, you're thinking, what am I doing here? Join that, because Nancy Shillington Perez is going to be doing that, and it's always a nice service, nice time. And the last notification I have for you is also about a party, the UUCC holiday party. It's happening on Friday, December 16th, from 6 p.m. till 9 p.m. It's sponsored by the membership committee, and it's being hosted by Liz and Phil Turner. So please join us. Bring your favorite dish to share. They'll provide soft drinks, but BYOB for anything stronger or weaker or different. No judgment. I bet you there's going to be a lot of red wine, though. This is a family-friendly activity, and we challenge you to count all of the Santas. Apparently, there are going to be a lot of those. Contact Liz and Phil Turner. Their email address is connection@uucolumbia.org with questions. And the address is 204 Running Fox Road. And their phone number will be coming out to you as well. All right. And see, the reason we cut down on these is because people like me can't follow the script once we deviate from it. So anyway, please practice COVID restrictions that are approved by the Board of Trustees. And currently, the guidelines are wearing a mask is optional, depending on your own vaccination status and physical issues. Or if you have a blemish and you need a mask, you go ahead. I'll never tell. And an announcement for the parents or those folks who are caretakers to children. If you need to occupy your littles or your younger folks, we do have toys and books in the back of the social hall. In addition, we have a table of Hanukkah-related items to explore in the back. So you're welcome to join Bethany at the Hanukkah table in the back. And now, would you please silence all of your electronic devices as we center ourselves for today's service and listen to the prelude.
This morning's prelude is Light a Candle by Marta Keene, arranged by Jay Eldhouse. Light a candle, hold a sign of hope in your hand. Light a candle, let it shine across the land. The hour that seems the darkest turns quickly into day. Light a candle, let it show us the way. Light a candle, let it shine for young and old. Light a candle, let your heart's compassion unfold. A ray of hope for all of us, a simple silent prayer. Light a candle for the love that we share. Light a candle for the child who sleeps in the cold. Light a candle, let our hearts' compassion unfold. Our light will make the darkness seem easier to bear. Light a candle for the hope that we share.
Thank you, Anna. I tell you, listening to her is always such a treat, isn't it? She's like ear candy. I like that. Yes. Would everyone please stand and join me for our congregational affirmation? It's found in the back, on the back of your order of service, if you don't remember the words. Love is the doctrine of this congregation. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to serve others in community. Thus do we covenant with one another. Welcome. Unitarian Universalism is a diverse and non-creedal religion. We are a covenantal religion, which means that we don't have to believe the same things in order to treat each other the same with respect, equity, compassion, and dignity. Our community is based on deeds and not creeds. As Unitarian Universalists, we side with love, embracing all people, regardless of age, color, race, socioeconomic status, physical ability, or religious background. We have officially been designated by the Unitarian Universalist Association as a welcoming congregation, which means we even let in people like me, LGBTQ plus individuals. We especially invite families and young children. We even have a nursery. And as I mentioned, we have a table in the back with Hanukkah-related items, and we have books and toys for children. We encourage everyone to wear their name tags because people like me are bad with names, so we want to know each other better. Board members wear green name tags, and they always welcome your comments, questions, and suggestions. So would our board members, please stand up now so that you may be recognized. Thank you. I remind you that is voluntary, those are voluntary positions, and they work their little backsides off. So I just want to thank them real quickly for all that they're doing. At this time, I'd like to recognize any guests or visitors who are with us today and are brave enough to stand up and let us get to know you a little better. So if you're willing and able, please rise and wait for the microphone, because Emilio can jog. I'm telling you, he's a tennis player. So if you're willing, share with us your name and where you're from. And if you have guests with you, please feel free to introduce them. All right. Now that's a cool jacket.
Hello, my name is Cameron.
Hi, Cameron.
I am from Sumter, South Carolina. I am 8 years old, and my birthday is February 24th.
Wow. Welcome, Cameron. What a brave soul. Welcome.
Hi, I'm Courtney. I come sometimes to talk with my nonprofit, but I'm trying to come and talk about myself and be here. So, hey, good to see you again.
Good to see you. Welcome. Anyone else? Oh, short jog.
Thanks. Hi, sorry, I didn't know I'd be speaking. My name's Angel. I'm also 8 years old. I'm originally from Aiken, but I live about 15 minutes from here, and I'm by myself today.
Welcome. Not by yourself anymore. All right, anyone else? Great. Now, this is when it gets crazy. I'm going to trust y'all now. This is the time when we get to know each other. Oh, wait, I skipped a part. Sorry. Visitors, please fill out a visitor card and put it in the collection plate. There should be one on the back of the chair in front of you. That information will enable us to send you our newsletter and emails, but we will not come knocking on your door. We're not going to harass you. We just want you to know what's going on in this community in case you're interested in joining us. We'd love to have you. Remembering our masking and distancing preferences, and remembering that I'm trusting you, please take just a moment to greet each other. And then I'm going to have to call you back to the service. So please turn to those around you and offer a pleasant greeting with a handshake, a fist bump, a big smile.
Yeah, I understand. You got it. Good job.
Okay. If we could get back to service. This is the trust part, you guys. All right. See, I don't blame you. There are lots of delicious people here I'd love to get down there and talk to. So hopefully everybody will hang around after the service so I can chat with everybody. It's the highlight of my week. And I don't live a boring life, I promise. Today we have one of my favorite people in this congregation who's going to be our chalice lighter. So Joan Watterson, you please come and light our chalice.
Is this working? Yes, it is. Well, I'm Joan Watterson, and I have been a member of the UUCC for a long, long time. It was the fellowship back then. 1980, our family joined, and we've seen lots and lots and lots of changes over the years. We weren't even in this building then. We were down in the Whaley Street area. And I have got to know many, many people, including Ivy and Robin, over the years. Actually, I knew Ivy before she even started coming here.
That's right. She used
Yeah,
to
we
intimidate
worked-
me at work.
That's right. That's right. I bugged her a lot. I have no family, no biological family in the state anymore, but you all are my family, and that's why I love the UUCC so much. Yeah. So anyhow, I just want to put in a plug, because that's what people are doing now, and when they light the chalice. Almost as long as I've been a member, I have been going up to the mountain up in Highlands, North Carolina. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful place that's owned by the Southeastern UUs now. Way back then, it was the Thomas Jefferson district. And we have seen lots of changes, but not a whole lot. It's still very rustic, and I love to introduce new people to the mountain. And our new executive director, Steph Anderson, will be coming down January 15th and giving a little presentation after the service on the 15th of January. So please plan on staying over for lunch and learning more about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Joan. Spirit of light and love, come unto us.
I'd like to invite the children to come down for the story for all ages. We're going to combine it together with a song today. So if you could please join me down front. There they come. Sorry to pull you away from your fun activities. Come down here, you can have a seat. All right, is this everybody? Good morning. How are you? Good. I have a little something here. Tell me if you should know this because you just came from the table back there. Oh, Cal. All right, let me try it again. Anybody know what this is? Oh. He's too fast. He's just too fast. Yes, this is a dreidel. And this is one of the fun games that you play during Hanukkah. And it's really a game that it's a way to either lose all your candy or get a bunch of candy. It's kind of the way it works. So everybody starts with a piece of candy, or no, I'm sorry, 10 pieces of candy. And then you take turns spinning it. And based on which one of these 4 letters pop up, depends on your turn what happens. So the first, there's 4 Hebrew letters: Nun, Gimel, Hey. That's right. So anybody know what happens if you land on Nun? That's right, you get nothing, absolutely nothing. That's not any fun. All right, let's pretend like it landed on Gimel. Does anybody know? You get everything. So those are huge. Like if everybody put one of their pieces of candy in the pot, then whoever landed on Gimel would get all of those pieces. So if you spin it again and it lands on Hey, anybody know? Louisa? You get half, excellent. And then the last letter you could possibly land on is Shin. Louisa knows, Cal, if you don't. All right. That's right. You get to put some pieces in. So depending on where it lands, and this is a good, really dreidel. You see how long that spins? Pause while we wait on that. Oh, hey, so what would you get?
Nothing.
Oh, nothing. Nothing. Half. All right. So that's a fun, I think you, this morning you're going to work on some of these back there and maybe even make one of your own with all of these letters. A cool thing about these letters too is it really talks about the miracle of Hanukkah, where the lights stay lit for more nights than they were supposed to and more nights than they had oil for. And so really these letters represent a phrase in the Hebrew, which is a miracle happened there. So this game is not just a fun game that you play with candy, but it's also a reminder all the way back to Hanukkah, a little over 2,000 years ago, that a miracle happened there. And that's something that we really celebrate. A way that we're going to continue to celebrate the dreidel and Hanukkah. Anna has a song for you. So are you ready for them?
Come over to the piano with me.
Yeah, come over to the piano.
This is the dreidel song, and it's a special song about making your own dreidel and playing the game. I'm going to ask you to help me sing the chorus of the song, the part that keeps coming back. And we're going to ask all of you to help too. So your special part, the words are, oh dreidel, dreidel, dreidel. Oh dreidel, dreidel, dreidel. Repeat after me. I made it out of clay. I made it out of clay. Oh dreidel, dreidel, dreidel. Dreidel, dreidel, dreidel. Now dreidel I shall play. Now dreidel I shall play. And the part we're going to sing sounds like this. Oh dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay. Oh dreidel, 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 now dreidel I shall play. Let's all try that together, and can you all join us too? Oh dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay. Oh dreidel, 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 now dreidel I shall play. Good. That will come around 3 times, but I'll tell the story in between. I have a little dreidel, I made it out of clay, and when it's dry and
and dreidel I shall play. Oh, dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay. Oh, dreidel, 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 now dreidel I shall play. It has a lovely body with legs so short and thin, and when it is all tired, it drops and then I win. Oh, dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay. Oh, dreidel, 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 now dreidel I shall play. My dreidel's always playful, it loves to dance and spin. A happy game of dreidel we'll play now, let's begin. Oh, dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay. Oh, dreidel, 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 now dreidel I shall play.
Go have fun making your dreidels.
What fun. All right, we've reached the part in our service where we light candles in community for those joys and concerns that we are bringing into this place. So I invite you, if you do have a joy or concern you would like to share with the congregation, to please grab a candle from the foyer and make your way to the front. Briefly share your joy or concern so that we can all hear and connect with you as you do.
Good morning, I'm Tom Clements. First, there's something in the air here today. I'm not sure what it is, but it's a good vibe, so thank you for that. But I had not intended to say anything, but because our representative from Transitions is here, I thought I would share what's a joy for me and for the congregation. As you know, the Social Action Committee collects clothing for what I'm still gonna call the winter shelter. And you guys have done a great job this year. With Deb Matherly's leadership, we've had some wonderful clothing tables down there. We're probably gonna have one tomorrow night. Some bags were given today and other clothing, and somebody else approached me about things. The people who go to the shelter really need it. So Deb and her husband and Laura Hartwig helped a couple weeks ago. We've given stuff directly to a lot of people who come in and don't have enough warm clothing. So I want to thank you for that. And if you have things to bring, please bring them and we'll get them down to the shelter. Thank you.
I feel I should call myself Rebecca the Resurrected. Oh dear. It's been 3 weeks since open heart surgery, and I could not be here without the caring committee of this congregation. So I wanted to do a candle for gratitude for them. It's really like family. Joan mentioned family. It is amazing. When any of us have a loved one at the hospital, to sit through long surgeries waiting to hear what's going to happen, caring committee comes and sits in the hospital with you. After it's all over, bringing food and love and care. Over 80 years, I've been with different churches, but nothing like this. I just have a bursting heart of, metaphorically, let me say how to say okay, let me see, open-hearted, anyway, tender-hearted is good. I have a love for this congregation and especially for the caring committee. Thank you so much, each one.
of course, we always light a candle for those silent joys and concerns that we're holding this morning, and want to make sure that there's a space for them as well. I'm going to stay away from all heart metaphors here, Rebecca, and just say, let's take a few deep breaths and connect to all that you've heard, the joys, the gratitude, the celebration, the goodness of being a part of a family and community like this. As we prepare for our offering this morning, I remind you that our Share the Plate recipient this month, as Tom mentioned, is Transitions. And so we are delighted to join them in this great work in the community, helping so many and transforming so many lives. If you'd like to donate, you can do that online or either use one of the offering envelopes today. This time I invite our ushers to come and receive our morning offering.
Our offertory music today is Maoist Sir, the Rock of Ages. We received this offering this morning, a symbol of our commitment to the good work of the UUCC. All right, we're going to play a little game this morning. I have a full sermon here. So, depending on where we land, you either get nothing, you get half a sermon, a whole sermon, or you have to contribute your own sermon. So let's see what happens. Roll the dice here. Gimel it is, a full sermon, sorry. You'll never know if I was honest or not. Sorry, I know anytime that Ivy is our service leader that I've got to keep up with the levity and the comedy, so just not my thing normally, so it can be a bit dry. So but thank you, Ivy, for getting us started off right this morning. Next Sunday begins the Hanukkah celebration, so we decided to take this Sunday and prepare for that a little bit. December 18th and lasting for 8 nights. Starting next Sunday evening. This year's theme for Hanukkah is light over darkness. And of course, the images of light are such a beautiful symbol with the candles and the oil and the lights that will not go out, that we'll sing about in just a few minutes as we wrap up our service.
But really, the Hanukkah celebration, if you were listening to the story for all ages, is a reminder that there was a miracle that happened there. And the miracle was the beautiful light that continued to burn in the rededication of the temple. For the Jewish community, the temple was such an important place historically. It was important to them when they were a nomadic tribe traveling across the wilderness. They had very detailed instructions of how to build a tabernacle that was movable, that could be put up and broken down at a moment's notice. But it was very important. The first thing they did when they settled in an area as they were moving nomadically across the wilderness was to establish this sacred space of a tabernacle. And of course, when they landed in their homeland, obviously the tabernacle didn't need to be mobile anymore. And so the temple was built and the sacred space was dedicated to the work of the community and the sacred space of the Jewish community. And of course, the history of the Jewish community throughout history is a experience of invasion, the temple being destroyed or the temple being taken over, a reclaiming of the temple. Different forces, sometimes within, sometimes without, taking over this sacred space, but eventually coming back and reclaiming it as their own. Even the book of Deuteronomy in the Hebrew Scriptures is believed to be found in a clay jar in one of the temple reconstructions. And all of a sudden, this beautiful image of the law was found in history and able to be read out loud. The temple is the sacred space. The story of Hanukkah is probably one of the most defiling times of the temple. For in 200 BCE, during the Syrian rule, Antiochus took over the area of Jerusalem. Antiochus III allowed them to continue their practices of worshiping in the temple and all of the customs involved with the sacred work inside the temple. His son, not so much. Antiochus IV, also known as Antiochus Epiphanes, decided to outlaw any Jewish customs, any Jewish practices, and they weren't allowed access to the temple. He invaded the temple area and killed over 1,000 people in a massacre. And then, of course, in one of those moments in history, decided to really defile the temple by sacrificing a pig on the altar, one of the unclean animals in Jewish dietary customs. He put up a statue of Zeus and sacrificed a pig on the altar. It has become known as the abomination of desolation. I preached about the abomination of desolation about 5 or 6 years ago, before I was actually the minister here, preached a sermon based on our own experience of a petty tyrant at the time. I don't mean me or anyone here, by the way. But we certainly know what it's like to have someone take what is a sacred space and defile it. And certainly that is the experience of the abomination of desolation. But out of that experience of oppression and grief, a revolution rose up. Mattathias and his sons formed a revolution, and even though he died in 166, his son Judah, known as the Hammer, took over. Judah Maccabee. Whenever I think about Judah Maccabee, and especially the fact that he's called the Hammer, for some reason, JP, you're the person that comes to my mind. I just kind of see, I really think if we ever put on a play of the Maccabean Revolt, you've got the part of Judah right off the bat, the Hammer, for sure. But over about 2 years in that revolution, through some guerrilla warfare tactics, they were eventually able to run the Syrians out of Jerusalem. And from that point on, they decided to cleanse the temple and rebuild the altar. And then Judah ordered that the gold candelabrum, which had 7 branches that burned all of the time, he had it put up, and there was enough oil for one night while they looked for other olive oil to put in the lamps. And of course, the miracle of Hanukkah is that with only enough oil for one night, it lasted for 8 nights. And in that process, that miracle that happened there, the space, the sacred space of the temple was reclaimed. I don't know if we have an exact experience of what it's like emotionally to have a building so dedicated to our spirituality reclaimed. I know that we have this building here, but for some reason it doesn't seem to hold justice to what it would mean to rededicate the temple after all of those events during that time period. But I do know that we know something about reclaiming sacred space and what it means to reclaim sacred space. I love the definition of sacred. The particular definition I focus on today is sacred means that it's entitled to reverence and respect. Whether it is involving a deity or not, religion or not, sacred simply means it's entitled to reverence and respect. I think a great way to celebrate Hanukkah then is to reclaim your space that's entitled to reverence and respect. What does that look like? Personally, I think all of us are the miracle. All of us are sacred space. So there are often times in our life when we get defiled, when we get abused, when we lose our sacred space to someone else that maybe doesn't value us the way that we need to be valued. The personal work of reclaiming your sacred space in the midst of physical abuse or emotional abuse or community abuse, reclaiming that personal space is a way to celebrate Hanukkah. Reclaiming the personal space of family or home, reclaiming that space as sacred. I know this past week I caught the ear of a little bit of the speech of Raphael Warnock, and my ears perked up when he gave the speech and described each vote as a prayer. Each vote as a prayer. And it just made me think about the work that our Social Action Committee has done over the past few weeks preparing for the election. If you think about all the work against the gerrymandering effect, all the work against voter suppression, all the work against protecting voter rights, isn't that a way of reclaiming sacred space? If every vote is a prayer and every vote is entitled to reverence and respect, then the work of Hanukkah has been done over the past few weeks in reclaiming that sacred space of the ballot box. And for many of us, maybe we don't even value coming into a building for sacred space, for our sacred space involves trees and grass and flowers and animals and open sky to look up to. I'm reminded of the words of Chief Seattle in his speech where he said, "Every part of this soil is sacred in the estimation of my people. Every hillside, every valley, every plain and grove has been hallowed by some sad or happy event in days long vanished." So think about the work of the Green Committee this morning, not only reclaiming this space as a green space for our building, but all the work of protecting and maintaining the environment, the places in the environment that have been defiled, violated, reclaiming, cleaning up, describing it as sacred space and protecting it. And not only protecting it in the moment, but preparing for a future of protecting our environment. What a way to celebrate the miracle of Hanukkah by investing yourself in reclaiming that sacred space outdoors. This is our good work. This is the work that we do. As we celebrate and join the Jewish community of recognizing Hanukkah, to realize that we do it all the time. We are constantly reclaiming personal, spiritual, outside space for the good work that we do. We light this chalice every Sunday and support the good work of the UUCC. So I guess our challenge is, as we're about to sing, our responsibility as we're about to voice is to not let that light go out because it's too important.
I invite you to turn in your gray hymnals to hymn number 221, Light One Candle. Please stand as you're willing and able and join me in singing. Sorry. Light one candle for the Maccabee children whose they that their light didn't die. Light one candle for the pain they endured when the right to exist was denied. Light one candle for the terrible sacrifice justice and freedom demand. And light one candle for the wisdom to know when the peacemakers' time is at hand. Don't let the light go out. It's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out. Let it shine through all of our tears. Light one candle for the strength that we need. We never become our own fall. Light one candle for those who are suffering the pain that we learned so long ago. Light one candle for always believing that never will tear us apart. Light one candle to bring us together with peace as the song in our heart. Don't let the light go out. It's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out. Let it shine through our love and our tears. What is the memory that's valued so highly? We keep it alive in that flame. What's the commitment to those who have died when we cry out loud our name? That we promise are always believing that justice will somehow prevail. This is the word and this is the promise, and this is why we will not fail. Don't let the light go out. It's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out. Let it shine through our love and our tears. And of course, as we extinguish our chalice, that is the challenge for you and me. Don't let the light go out. It's lasted for so many years. Don't let this light go out. Let it shine through our love and our tears. Please join me in singing our congregational benediction.
I'd like to extend a special welcome to our guest today, and it's always a pleasure, Courtney, when you're here. So great to see you. And Cameron, I'm guessing Cameron's in the back at this point, and Angel, so glad that you're here as well. And for everyone who came to be a part of this service, invite you to stick around to get to know each other. If you're new here, if you're an old regular here, then get to know each other. And connect with each other and spend some time in our community together. Thank you for being a part of this service.
Can you give me 5 minutes before we start? Yes. Okay. You need 5 personal space. Well, no, Alex is going to help me with the TV. I need to hook up real quick. I'm going to use the restroom, and then I'm ready. You're reclaiming your sacred space. Aha. I'm reclaiming my to-do list. Sharon. Oh.